Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs shows why you need insanity. You need to be insane in your own self belief. Much like Kanye, he started with spray on shoes, an obsession with creating things to help others and finding a way to be himself. You know, he made these shoes and the entire class laughed at him. He made these shoes and was told, by even family members that he should give up and move on and find new things. But only began his obsession with himself. This obsession with knowing he can make things better. He learned that through with these spray on shoes, he learned that he can't run away from himself. That if you love something so much that it will hinder you no matter what you do. And that he learned that very quickly. He learned that he has to be original through his mom. His mom told him to be original, and that's exactly what he did. And his number one supporter is his mom. And some people say that all you need is one. All you need is one person to support yourself. And if that's not yourself, somebody close to you. And there will always be somebody that supports you. The validation helped take him over the top and become more insane. The whole world, or his whole class in this idea, laughed at him for the spray on shoes. His mom reassured him that your originality will make a difference, that your originality matters in this world, and he stuck to it. Owning his own identity and what he truly believed in. This shows that if you believe in something and you want to make a change, just stick to it, despite what the world or your class may say about you. And after the spray on shoes, he had many inventions. Many inventions failed. That's part of being a scientist, a painter, or whatever that is. You won't succeed, or you won't have your first major success. You have to accept the failures that come with it. But this builds resilience. The resilience that you're willing to place another bet on yourself. The resilience that, okay, this invention failed, or this painting may not have got attraction, but you learned through this invention and this painting to go bet on yourself again and do another one. So this shows like he understood that he had a dream to help his hometown, and despite that an invention failing, he knew that one invention would work and inevitably help achieve his dream of helping his hometown. He was told to give up by his own father. He was told to give up that show you're on the right path. A lot of people say, in their success stories and their interviews that, yeah, when they were a kid or as they were coming up, some people told them to go find something else, that this is never working. But ideally, this is a showcase to you directly that you're on the right path. If somebody tells you to give up or to change things up or to go find something new, maybe you're on the right path. Because a lot of people always have that idea or are told this information, and eventually they stick to it and bet on their self consistently, that they're able to finally cash in that bet. It may not be 2 after or 3 inventions later after someone tells you, but it might just be your 4th one. Be you. Finn, I believe his name was Finn, I can't remember. He has a quote, "This is who I am." He told his dad directly, like, as much as you may hate it or as much as you want me to change it, this is who I am. If you're a painter and you try to become an athlete and you go back to painting to people, you're a really good athlete, it's okay because this is who you are. You're a painter. Nobody's going to be an athlete for you. If you're a painter, go be that. If you're a singer, go be that, because that's who you are. Not everybody does the same thing, and to other people, what you're doing might be insane, but this is your life. Be who you are. And to wrap up the movie, his dad came back, and after his invention worked out, the 100 letters that was in the invention name, but the dream of helping his hometown with food and making an invention that goes into the sky and makes the food so they don't have to eat sardines anymore came from his own father, who told him to change. Eventually said, "You're a total original. Your mom is right that you're a total original," and that he's proud of him. And that just showed that the insane self-belief that he had and the validation that he got from his mom were worth it. All the failures, the spray on shoes, and the other inventions that might not have worked out helped showcase why this was so worth it. Why that insane self-belief that he had in his own self took him over the top and finally found an invention that helped to achieve his own dream. Everybody has their dream of what they want to accomplish, and through the failures that he experienced and the negativity that he experienced, he found love in a lot of different places, from the girlfriend that he eventually got, the police officer. He had to hold down the failures and consistently bet on himself to find what is going to take him over the top. And that's eventually what he accomplished and helped saving his hometown in part 1 of the movie. As we know, there are, I think 3. But that shows you have to believe in yourself to an insane amount. Kanye. If you don't believe in yourself more than anybody else believes in you, you will never be able to achieve your dream of not eating sardines for the rest of your life or becoming the best rapper or musician on the face of the planet. So if you have a dream, bet on yourself. And if you fail, take that failure and take what you learn to bet on yourself again until eventually you reach your dream and you find another dream to chase.